Hi, everybody. It's the Christian Kid, and today I'm going to be doing a reading from our book Because. And today's reading is Wednesday's, and it's called Failure and Success. I think today's is going to be really, really good because all of us deal with failing and succeeding every day of our lives. Um, Obviously, to different extents, um, and we all handle it differently. Some of us are really good winners, and some of us are really good losers, and some of us are really poor winners, and some of us are really poor losers. Um, so, everybody handles things differently. Um, so, why don't we read today, and we can learn more about failing and succeeding, and see what the Bible has to say. So let's read, and we'll talk about what all of this has to say and everything when we get done. So, Wednesday, failure and success. Jesus had risen from the dead. He had appeared to some of the disciples, but there were no clear marching orders, so they thought that they would go back to what they knew how to do, and that was fish. So Simon Peter said, "I'm going fishing." "We'll come too," they all said. So they all went to the boat, and they caught nothing all night. And that was found in John chapter 21, verse 3. After they had fished through the night of the Sea of Galilee, without catching anything, the morning light revealed a figure of someone standing on the shore. The man called out, "Friends, have you caught any fish?" And that was found in John chapter 21, verse 5. And only later would they realize this was Jesus. Throughout the Bible, God often asks probing questions when he wants a confession from somebody. In the same way, Jesus was asking his disciples, "Have you been successful? Have things gone the way you'd hoped they would? Are you satisfied?" They had to admit it. They had to admit their failure. Why did Jesus want them to admit this? So he could bring them to something better. God always has something good for his children, and every single one of us is his kids, and he always wants the best for us. So we may want something, but God may ask us, "Is this really what you want?" And, you know, just this past weekend, there was something, one of our board members or elders in the church had made a really interesting point, and I'm actually going to use this um, in tonight's reading. And he said um, that you may want something, and God may ask, "Is this what you want?" But if you get it, if God gives it to you, you may be expected to give it away to somebody else because somebody else might need it more than you do. Um, and when you do give that away, what you wanted and what you think you need, um, because wanting and needing something are two different things. When you give it away, God has something better and bigger for you. And it's not that your gift from God is much better than what you gave away to the person that you thought you needed. That's not the point. The point is that you were listening to God and you gave that, and that could be classified as your success. Um, so, there's always something better. God always has something better for you than what you think you have, and we just got to be willing to listen for him and accept like what he has to say for us. So, are you experiencing any failure in your life at this time? Everybody has failure in their life. Um, So I think we all kind of experience it, and like I said before, we all handle it differently. And some of us are poor losers, and some of us are really good losers. You know, an example of a poor loser, like say at a board game, they might a poor loser might end up saying, "Oh, you cheated. There's no way you could have done that," and really start to put the person down, and that's not really cool. And we've all kind of had that play. We've all kind of done that once in our life, at least. I know I have. And then there's other people who all of us also have also been really good losers who, when we lose, instead of making fun of that person, we instead go and say, that was a really good game. You played really good and you played really hard. We should play again. And you make it a really great an opponent or something. And you just, even though you lost, um, you encourage them and say you did a really good job, even though you lost. Um, so Jesus told them to cast their net again. As they followed his specific instructions, their net became so heavy with fish they couldn't pull it in. The Lord was teaching the disciples an important lesson. Failure often can be the doorway to real success. So just because you failed doesn't mean it's the end of the world. It could be just the doorway to something even better, which usually that's what it is. This old saying, the calm before the storm, I think it's very accurate. The calm could be the failure, and the storm could be, you know, the opening or the doorway opening to something so amazing that, you know, it could be just crazy. Just, yeah. So we need to come to this point in our lives as well. We need to come to him and say, Lord, I'm not satisfied with the way my life is going. I'm tired of doing it my way. I want to do it your way. There is a song that is called, I believe it's called Jesus Take the Wheel. And, you know, it starts out where the woman is driving and she wasn't really into this whole Jesus thing. And, you know, she knew about it, but she wasn't really kind of buying into it. And it was ice. It was really slippery, and she had her baby, and then she started to get into a car accident. And it was then that she said, Jesus, take the wheel. Basically, take control of her life. And sometimes it takes people to get down to their lowest low, or something really bad to happen to them, in order for them to say, okay, God, I need you to take over my life. I need you to help me with this. I need you to help me with my life. So, oh, brain fart. I'm sorry. So, okay. It's very hard for somebody, like a human, for us humans to give control to somebody else. And it's even harder for us to give control of our lives to someone that, you know, we can't see. But God is always there. He's there and everything, and he's never going to leave us. But it's very rewarding. It's challenging, but it's super, super, super rewarding and very worth it. If you come to God like that, he'll extend his mercy and grace to you. He'll take your life and transform it in ways you couldn't imagine. And that is so true. I can't even begin to say how true this is. That is a very, very true line. In like 2 or 3 years, my life has changed in ways that I can't even begin to describe. Miracles have happened. I've seen miracles happen. Just craziness. It's insane. Um, so, I mean, give Christ a shot. He's so worth it. Um, and you won't regret it. You really won't. You really won't. I mean, the best choice I have ever made in my life. So, the Lord's promise to his people for today is, fear not, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. Yes, I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. And that's found in Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. And with God in prayer, admit to God any failure you're experiencing. Be honest with him and be honest with yourself about this. Because God is leading you into something better. What failure do you need to leave behind you? God can help us. He can help us in more ways than we can imagine. And he can take all those fears and failures and hurts and pains and all these other things that are really bad for us and make us like heavy and make the loads heavy. He can take those and he can make our lives so much better. Our loads will be light. We won't, I mean, the baggage can be left behind. He can carry it for us. You just have to ask. And, it doesn't happen all at once. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time. And, he is the master potter. And he will break us. And he will rebuild us. And he will put us in the firing kiln. And usually when we're in the firing kiln, we don't like it. It gets uncomfortable. It gets kind of tense, and we're just kind of like, that's usually where our pressure points are, and that's our breaking points usually. But that's how we become stronger, and God's with us every step of the way. So you never have to worry about if he's not there or if you're alone, because he's always there, and you're never alone. Never, ever. He's always just a phone call away. And all you have to do is say, God, I'm here. I need your help. And he'll be there. Trust me. I did it, and it was the best thing I ever did. The best choice, and I'll never go back. I've seen it on both sides, and I never want to go back on the other side of that fence again. It's the worst place ever. So, anyways, I hope you enjoyed Wednesdays. Sorry it was a little long. A little bit longer than what I had intended it to be, but that's okay, because we have lots of time, and with God, there should be no time limit. So, yeah, if the Holy Spirit calls you to speak about something, you could go on forever. We've learned that in church lots of times. So, I hope you'll come back for tomorrow's, which is Thursdays, and it's called Proving Your Love. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye.